Hi, this is Jason with bathbombmachine.com, and today I want to introduce you to our B-49 multi-press bath bomb machine. This is our single press B3 that we've been selling for over a decade now, and in the last 18 months we've been selling the B-49, and I just want to give you an introductory video and show you some of the features of this machine. As you can see, it doesn't take up a whole lot more space, but it has a whole lot more capability and a whole lot more power. So with the B-49, there's lots of molds that are available for it, and we're constantly coming out with new designs, so new shapes and sizes will be coming. This happens to be our 2.5-inch sphere, which is a very common size. This particular one makes 13 bath bombs per press, but in our different sizes, we have really small bath bombs that this can make 49 per press, and then we go all the way up to our 3-inch sphere, which will make 9 per press. So there's lots of sizes. We have cubes, tablets, and there's more shapes coming. Next, I want to show you how the upper mold and the lower mold go in and out of the machine. They slide in and you hear a click, and that click tells you that they're in their proper position. And when the upper mold is positioned right with the lower mold, then they fit together just perfectly. So we're going to pull this out. It's very easy to change an upper mold. Pull it out. If you want to change to like a different size or something, you just pull one out and slide the other one in until you hear that click. Lower mold slides out, slides right back in, push it, and it goes together. So you don't have to manually align these upper molds one at a time. They all slide down in their cavities perfectly. Now to fill this, I'm not going to do this right now, but I'm kind of going to simulate it. What we recommend is putting this mold block into a tub, like a busboy tub for example, and you basically take your mix from your mixer and dump it all in here. It's going to be kind of messy, but the tub will catch the extra mix. And then you take a plastic scraper, like a paint scraper or like a 4 to 5 inch wide scraper, and the key is these cavities pre-measure the amount of mix. You scrape it off flat, which is a very quick process, and then you slide it back in. You actuate your machine, and then every mold set will come with an extraction tool with the properly sized posts. And you set this block on there, and then you have your bath bombs on each mold element, and you can just set them out on your drying rack. Then you go back to reload it and slide it in again. Now, one thing we offer that you'll see when you're looking on our website for molds is we sell additional lower mold assemblies. And when we say lower mold assembly, that's the mold block. That's all the elements inside, like you see here. And it's another extraction tool. And what that allows you to do is you can have 2, 3, or 4 of these being filled, pressed in the machine, unloaded, and kind of have that going in an assembly line to increase production. That's something that several of our customers do because it just makes things quicker. And with that, if you're all doing the same size, at least in that production run, you only need one upper mold plate. So if we're all doing 2.5 inch, one upper mold plate and several lowers, and then if you want to switch to a different size, say the 1.75 cube, well then you put the cube upper in, and then you use cube lowers. Okay, so we've rotated the B-49, so I'm showing you its left side, and this is where the air pressure regulator and air filter are. And right here you've got a gauge showing exactly how much air pressure is going into the rest of your B-49 components. This is the connection. This is larger than our B3. This is a 3/8 of an inch male quick release. On our B3 it's only 1/4 of an inch. This larger connection being 3/8 allows for more airflow because we definitely are using a higher volume of air with these cylinders. So with this gauge, it will show the pressure going downstream, and we can adjust it. I'll show you that. And also there is a filter in here that filters the air, and a water trap. So any moisture that comes downstream from your air compressor will be caught down here, and there's a float in here, and as the water level increases, it will automatically open and just blow out little squirts of water when it needs to. You may see this once a week, or you may see it once a month, depending on the humidity of where you are. But to connect an air hose, it takes a fair amount of force to push it on, so I recommend holding on to the front side of the regulator with your opposite hand, not back here where there potentially could be moving parts. Just hold on to the regulator body itself. So we're going to pull this slide back just like on a B3 or any other air tool, and then push it on. So there we go. Right now our gauge is still showing 0, so I'm going to show you how to adjust that if you need to. Generally it's going to come from us set at a certain pressure, but if you want to make changes, you can. We just say don't adjust this higher than 125 psi. That's as high as we want it to go. But to make adjustments, we just lift up this lid, which reveals this orange ring here, and start turning it clockwise as you're looking down. And as air is introduced, the upper mold came up, and you'll see this needle is slowly going up. And we're going to go to 100 psi. There's a little green arrow thing at the top. Ignore that. We're just going to look at where the needle is pointing on the actual dial face itself. We're almost there. Almost there. Okay, 100. The needle's pointing exactly to 100. Push that down and our pressure is locked in. So just a bit more about the B-49. The frame is machined from aircraft grade aluminum, and the molds are machined from a polymer that's FDA food grade approved material, just like our B3s actually, but it's a way more robust machine. And it also has the same two-hand, no tie-down safety system. It's an OSHA approved safety system to protect you and your employees. So how that works is if you push these two buttons at the same time, the machine will stroke down, and when you release the buttons, they will come back up. But what it won't let you do is operate with just one button, or even if you put a clamp on one of these so that an operator put a clamp on one so they could get lazy and just use the other button and operate it with one hand, it will not work that way. So just for a demonstration, I'll show you the way it's supposed to work, and then I'll show you how it defeats someone trying to cheat. So pushing the buttons at the same time, and when you let go. Okay, now I'm just going to take a clamp and depress this button. Now when we push the other one, it knows that the timing is not the same and it does not fire. So if I take this back off again and push both at the same time. So that's a bit about our B-49. Hope that video was helpful. If you have any further questions, you can give us a call or email us at info@bathbombmachine.com. Thanks a lot.